So welcome back to our next CEO networking event. Today we have Ashleigh here with us. Ashleigh is a mindset and a business energetics coach, and it's such a pleasure to have you here with us, Ashleigh, because as my clients know, I often I usually don't work at all on mindset, work with them when I join their businesses, when scaling from 6 to 7 figures. And then we do encounter mindset blocks in our daily work. So that's why it's such a pleasure to have you here today and speak with you about how the mindset of a CEO could work.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Laura. I'm excited to be here, excited to share the mindset aspect of building and taking your business to 7 figures. I think mindset plays a huge role in running your business as well as strategy. So I'm so glad that today we talk about that aspect of running a business and what we need to do mindset-wise.
Yes, I couldn't agree more. I always say mindset and strategy both play such an important role. So today, let's focus on mindset, and actually next week, then we can focus more on strategy and systems, which is my part of the story, right? So let's go to my favorite question. Ashleigh, what's your story?
So it's always a good topic, and I know it's specifically how did I start my business? Why did I decide to become a mindset coach? So truthfully, I always knew I was going to be a CEO. Well, when I say CEO, I always knew I was going to be a business owner. My mom owned her own company, and I've never liked the idea of working behind a desk in the corporate world. I've never even worked a job in the corporate world. So I suppose being an entrepreneur and starting my own business was always something that was meant for me. And also one of my biggest values is freedom. So for me, I saw having my own business as a way to live the life that I wanted, where I had that freedom and flexibility to do what I needed. And I think so many people start their businesses for that reason. So they have that freedom that they can do what they want. So how I got started is that what really kicked me off into starting my own business, because I did work in a few office jobs, nothing really too corporate, but a few like human resource management. Another job was in importing and exporting superfood products into South Africa from all over the world. So that was pretty interesting. And they were very much largely office jobs at a desk, but nothing too corporate. But what really kicked me off into starting my own business was actually my 9-year journey with anxiety. I had this generalized anxiety disorder for 9 years, and I became obsessed with using food to heal my anxiety. So I started to study nutrition and then decided, well, obviously, if I have managed to help myself heal my anxiety through food, through mindset, I wanted to now help other women do this. So I knew in order to do this, I had to become a coach in the online space. So I could share my knowledge with other beautiful women. And so that's how I actually started my business and how I got into the online space, into having my own business. Although with that being said, I now think back, just before I went online, I worked at a vegan goods market. I had my own stall and I was making lots of like healthy, vegan, gluten-free treats. So I suppose I could technically call that my first business. So after being in the online space and anxiety coach, I hadn't had anxiety for 4 years. So I felt like I couldn't resonate with my ideal client anymore. But the work I had done on my mindset all around anxiety, and then moving into running my own business, so many fears and doubts and like anxiety and stress comes up. So it felt like a natural progression for me to move into being a mindset coach and obviously helping women who not only suffer with anxiety, because still some women do come to me with that, because obviously, when you want to scale your business, a lot of the time your body doesn't feel like it's safe to do so because you've pushed yourself to get to those 6 figures already. So now it's like, okay, cool, I want 7 figures, but your body's like, no, I am burnt out, I am anxious, I am super stressed. So I do have a lot of women who come to me still for that, for anxiety, but anxiety is mainly caused by the thoughts we think. So that's where mindset also plays a huge role. So I just knew that going into mindset was going to help not only women with anxiety, but I could help them go so much deeper. I could help them release their fears, connect who they truly are, and even step into their powerful selves. So that's yeah, so that's basically where it all began and how I ended up doing what I do now.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing your story. Even your beginnings of feeling so aligned with freedom as one of your core values feels so relatable to many of us, as you were mentioning. And then your honesty with how you started your business and your relationship with anxiety is super relevant for business owners like us. And I think you portray this pain point so well on how our mindset gets in the way when we start scaling to six figures and then start to continue scaling the business. So let me here right away ask you the second question, which I was really much looking forward for today, which is, how does mindset actually help you scale your business?
Yes, so that is a great question. And I think so many people actually, they hear about mindset, but usually if you're a six-figure business owner, you've created the success that people are still working towards. So you almost like, it's almost like well, I hear about mindset, but do I really need to work on mine? Because obviously I've got something in place that is working because I'm making six figures. It's like quite a big goal for a lot of business owners. But the difference lies in, where do you want to take your business after you hit six figures? I'm sure there's so many women out there who actually have achieved six figures who are just absolutely burnt out. I know a lot of women who've closed their businesses because they've hit that milestone and now they just can't do it anymore. And when you work on your mindset, what you do is you create a strong inner foundation to expand in all directions from that place. So I think, obviously I'll explain a little bit more now as to how the mindset works and how it can help you scale your business. But I think it's beneficial to know that mindset can elevate your business to those seven figures with ease. You don't have to force yourself to get there. You don't have to burn yourself out. And the why you do this is because the reason that your body might be struggling to expand or reach six figures, like I said, is not only because you might probably burn yourself out getting to the six figures, but it's also, you could have a belief there that you don't deserve to have seven-figure business, that you don't deserve to hire more team members. So your mindset is basically a set of your beliefs, your emotions, your values, your intentions, and your behaviors. And all of this is second nature to us, and it's stored in our subconscious mind, which is the part of our mind that like when you get into a car and you just drive, you don't even have to think about it. It's because it's already stored there. And that's what the subconscious mind is. All these beliefs and things we have about ourselves is stored in there. So how we operate in our life, our business, our relationships, these are all determined by our beliefs and our values. So using your mindset to scale means changing your beliefs around certain things that you know are sabotaging your success. So things like procrastinating, or the fear of not being good enough, or the fear of not actually feeling worthy and deserving of a seven-figure business. These are all mindset blocks that are actually stopping you from scaling your business because it doesn't feel safe. You can't hold the belief that you're worthy and deserving of a seven-figure business if the belief you have is that, well, I only deserve six figures, or now I've made enough money. Like, I've made enough money, I don't deserve more. So there's a whole lot of beliefs that we can have that actually stop us from taking our business to the next level. And what happens is, when you work on your mindset, you work on those beliefs. And when you change those beliefs, you change your behavior, you change your energy. And when that happens, you're then able to scale or take your business to the next level that you want. It might not even be scaling to seven figures. Like I said, it could be wanting to hire more team members. It could be wanting to actually take some time off. You could just find that you are struggling to get creative again because you burnt out. And we'll go down. I know there's a question about what are the biggest blocks my clients have. So I know we'll dive deep into that. So basically, mindset takes you, using your mindset helps you create success that feels effortless, because you're not forcing or obsessing or pushing yourself to get to the next level. Because what you've done is you've shifted your internal world to have beliefs that back your vision. And there's a beautiful method I use with all my clients, whether they're my group program or my one-on-one, and it's called Align to Attract. And it's basically becoming aware of your limiting beliefs, connecting to your authentic self. Like, is this truly what I want? Is this truly what I need? Really connecting to who you are as a person. Then moving into the alignment phase. When you know who you are, you know what action to take, you know what beliefs you need to have, you know what is going to take you towards that goal. And then, of course, the last phase is the attraction phase. So then success you attract instead of forcing or trying to chase your success. And mindset, a lot of people think mindset is just working through limiting beliefs, and it goes so much deeper than that, especially depending on which coach you have. So if you work with me, we don't just look at your limiting beliefs, we do the deep inner healing work, the inner child, the shadow work. It's all these, we basically uncondition everything that you have become conditioned with, because that's going to take you to the next level. It's not more strategy because you've got the strategy, you know exactly what you need to do. So what happens is people then start to doubt, well, maybe my strategy is not working anymore. It's not that. It's that you've got a mindset and you can't out mindset, where you can't out strategy a bad mindset. So yeah, so that's basically, let me know if that answers your question and it makes sense, obviously, for all the people watching as well. If that's, makes sense about how to use mindset to scale your business.
Yes, I loved how you portrayed the starting point where I started working with business owners that have just reached 6 figures. So usually you take this decision to scale your business in a situation of high success. So you've had this big success, and as you were mentioning, it doesn't look like there should be something like a mindset block stopping you from scaling to 7 figures. And still, I loved how, as a mentor of mine likes to say, the business can just grow as much as the business owner. So it was so valuable to hear to how you portray this unveiling of the mindset blocks, which is indeed my next question. So I'd love to hear more about what would you say are these biggest mindset blocks that your clients face when growing professionally and personally?
Yes, definitely. So there was 3 that really resonated and 3 that I've seen amongst most of my clients. But I also wanted to say that I love what you say about it doesn't matter what level you are at your business, you can always have a mindset block. So it doesn't matter that you've hit 6 figures, you could have a mindset block that's stopping you from hitting 7 figures. And so that's why you're right, having this mindset to take your business to the next level is such an important component as well. So with that being said, the 3 biggest mindset blocks that I actually noticed with my clients is 1, not trusting themselves. When you have a lack of trust, you doubt yourself a lot. That's when you start to fall into that comparisons. And I know there's even 6-figure business owners who compare themselves to 7-figure owners. Like, why are they doing that I'm not doing? So when you don't trust yourself, there's a lot of self-doubt, there's a lot of fears and things that start to come up. The next one is not believing it's possible for you. So not believing that your goal that you want is actually possible for you. Like, okay, I've hit the peak of what I think I can do. Now it doesn't feel possible for me to move beyond that. And the last one is believing that you have to burn yourself out to be successful. This is a huge, huge one. And it's not necessarily like I believe I have to burn myself out to be successful. It comes in beliefs like I can only make money if I work hard. I have to sacrifice my well-being for wealth. There's a whole lot of stories that our ego tells us to feel good enough, to feel loved, to feel validated. And usually we want to over-deliver and overcompensate for our clients. We want to show that we are enough. We want to be there. We want to show up. And what happens is we do this to prove something, or to basically we've got a block or a belief that's telling us we're not good enough. So we trying to push against this belief and doing everything we can to overcompensate. And what's happening is obviously we're burning ourselves out in that process. And like I mentioned earlier, when you burn yourself out, your body doesn't feel safe. Doesn't feel safe to scale, because it's like, I actually can't do this anymore. I can't push myself like this. And you most probably find you hit that breaking point where your ego now wants to keep you safe. So anytime you think of taking action towards scaling your business, you'll make up an excuse, you'll procrastinate, you'll self-sabotage, because your body doesn't feel safe. So that's also such a deep part of the inner healing work, is not only looking at working through your beliefs, but also thinking about your energy, your emotions. Those will play a huge role as well in helping you take your business to the next level.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And sometimes it's even the kind of really proactive attitude that you were talking about being wanting to be so present that even leads to burning out yourself. that might have led us to 6 figures, but doesn't apply anymore for when elevating us to 7 figures. So it's such an interesting phase of getting to know yourself, and as you were mentioning before, of really connecting with yourself and getting to know what your needs are and the needs of your body in order to really address this mindset blocks. Would you have to get to a really practical question with the people who are watching us, a tip on how can I identify as a business owner that I'm having a mindset block?
Yes, I love that question, because so often we actually aren't aware of the mindset block, because we think I think it's something crazy, like we think 60,000 thoughts a day, and almost 80% of them are exactly the same thoughts that we thought the day before. So they are so ingrained in our subconscious mind, we're not even aware of them. So what I always say to my clients is to recognize a limiting belief is to notice when you react to something negatively. Because when you get triggered by something, when you have a negative emotion towards something, when you have doubt, guilt, frustration, resentment, there is some belief there that you need to go and explore. So something I once read or got told, and it was very profound, is behind every limiting belief is a negative emotion, and behind every negative emotion is a limiting belief. I obviously don't include sadness in that, because sadness is a different emotion all on its own. It's a healing emotion that we can work through. But when you have guilt, when you're jealous of someone, when you resent someone, when you feel shameful, when you feel frustrated, there is some sort of belief or something that you believe about yourself, about your business, about others, about money, about the world, that is showing you that you need to go and explore this. So that's why, like I said, you think the same thoughts almost over and over. So tune into your emotions, tune into what your body's saying, because they are pinpointing you to the belief. Even if your body is exhausted, it's your body simply rejecting the idea of taking on more. So instead of trying to, because you'll struggle to find the limiting thoughts unless you tap into the emotion and find out, okay, what's behind this emotion? When I think of having a 7-figure business, do I feel scared? Do I feel anxious? Do I feel afraid? Do I doubt it's possible for me? When I think of hiring other team members, do I feel like I can't put more on other people? Do I feel like I don't want to? Sometimes, of course, the negative emotion is just saying to us, actually, it's not for us. So, however, sometimes the negative emotion is saying there's a belief here that you need to work through, that you need to explore through. So yeah, so that would be my tip, is to feel into your body and notice the emotions that come up when you think about having a certain goal, or when you think about taking your business to the next level.
I'm loving this perspective also, because there might be so many negative emotions that we need to be handling. And right now, having the perspective of this might just be a limiting belief that I need to explore more, is also a totally different way of viewing your negative emotions, which might be something that until now we kind of feel shameful for, and here and there it's kind of not agreeable to have them, but really seeing them as an opportunity to recognize a limiting belief and knowing that it might be helpful to really dig into what is going on there is also such a valuable way of thinking about your negative emotions. I love that.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for sharing all of these with us. Ashleigh, one last question. Now,
yes.
Thinking back about your business journey, would you do it again and launch your business again?
Absolutely, I would do it in a heartbeat, but there are 2 things I would do differently. But I suppose they say whenever you start your entrepreneurial journey, there's lessons you have to learn. And I suppose it's helped me now niche down in my market and what I truly help entrepreneurs with. So the 2 things is, I would learn the basics of having an online business or whatever industry you're in. I'd learn the basics of what it takes. Obviously, for like coaching, you need to have a program or an offer or something like that. But I would say just learn the basics, but make it your own, and don't look at what others are doing. There are 100 different ways to be successful or to take your business to those 7 figures, but you need to follow what feels good to you, because it's obviously something I teach my clients, is that they need to be their own leader and create success their way. Because if you follow what someone else is doing, might not truly be in alignment for you, and you'll find that the energy is off when you're creating. Your limiting beliefs or your beliefs about it are also not resonating. So like, let's say you're charging a price because you saw someone else charging a price. If you don't resonate with that price, your clients aren't going to buy, because energetically they can feel that you don't like the price. You think it's too high, or you think it's too low. So they will reflect that back to you. Also, your beliefs about what you want to create your reality. So if you think it's too much, like I said, no one will buy because you think it's too much. I had a client who was launching, she was a fashion designer, and she was launching a new label. It was something a little bit different to what she had done. And the whole time she had these thoughts like, no one's going to buy, this is different to what I've done, I'm hating what it looks like. So when she launched, as you can imagine, no one bought anything. I think she had like a few sales, and that was it, because her thoughts around it created a reality. After we'd worked through that and I'd shown her that her thoughts were creating that, she launched them again a few months later, and the sales skyrocketed, because the whole time she was like, people are going to buy. I love what my product looks like. I'm happy with it. And because of her energy towards her product and her thoughts about it, she actually had a very, very successful launch. So that would be the first thing. Do what feels in alignment for you. Notice your thoughts, of course, and your energy around it. And then the second thing I would say is that mindset. So when I first started my business, I had a business coach first, and then I worked on my mindset. I feel like it's so important to work on both at the same time, because mindset is a great way to grow a successful and a sustainable business. Because like I said, you're creating the inner foundation to expand from. So as I said, you can't out-strategy a bad mindset. So your strategy could have gotten you this far, but now your mindset might be blocking you from getting to the next level. So those are the two things that I do differently. But as I say, obviously taught me to what I help clients with now. So I can't regret that I didn't know those, but that would be my advice.
Ashleigh, where do people can find you?
Yes, so people can find me on Instagram at Ashleigh Camilla. Also on Facebook at Ashleigh Harrison, or I've got a beautiful group called the Soul-Led Boss Babes. Otherwise, my website is ashleighcamilla.com as well. Then they can go see more about my offers, or read up more about me too.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much. I'll obviously also leave all your links below, so that those watching you can reach out to you. And also, if you have any questions, please just leave them in the notes and the comments, and we'll get back to you afterwards.
Yes.
And thank you so much for being with us today, Ashleigh, and talk to you soon.
Yes, thank you so much, Laura. I appreciate you asking me these questions and having me here on this networking event. It's so wonderful for this opportunity. So thank you very much. Okay. Chat soon. Bye.